Hi, welcome to Azariah's Fiber Arts. My name is Sarah, and I am the artist and designer behind Azariah's Fiber Arts. Hit the like or subscribe button anytime while you're watching. All right, let's get into it.
All right. We are going to talk about short rows in knitting. If you would like to make this little piece and follow along, here are the instructions. So a short row is done for shaping purposes. Socks, hoods, bags, shoulders, all kinds of stuff. Bust darts. Right. A short row is literally that. It is short. There are different ways to turn at the end of the short row. So we're going to knit 10. So there are multiple ways to turn at the end of a short row. What I'm going to do is the yarn over short row. So I have turned my work. I'm going to wrap my yarn around the giving needle real tight, put it back into position, and we're going to knit. We're not gonna do short rows on both sides, just on the one side. All right, so this time we're gonna knit 8. Be aware of your instructions, because if it's instructions for multiple sweater sizes and there's a little bit of different shaping going on, it may tell you to stop so many stitches before your last turn or different things like that. All right, we're in the back again. All the way around, snug things up tight. The idea is we don't want that hole, right? Because working short rows can cause that hole, which is why there's more than one way to deal with the turning. I like this one. I'll show you how to resolve it here in just a minute. And this time we're going to knit 6. Turn it. Knit across. This will be our last short row. We're going to knit 4. Turn, of course, our yarn over, knit across. And now we're going to knit across to the first yarn over. And we're going to knit it together with the next stitch. And we're going to do that until we have worked all the way across the row. And we should have the same number of stitches that we started with. We should have our 12. But they will be at a diagonal. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. And you can see how they're at a diagonal. I like this particular turn, this yarn over turn, because it disappears really well. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to knit a row back, and then I'm going to work 4 rows of stocking knit so we can do the purl version. Okay, here we go. We're going to go ahead and knit 1 more row and work full on the purl side with the short rows, and there's a couple reasons for that. One, I want to show you how to work the short row completely from the purl side in case you have a piece where you might be doing that. If you are working the short rows on both sides to do shaping for a sleeve cap or something, you may need to do the short rows on both the purl side and the knit side. That, I want to show you something else too when we're done. All right, so now we're on the purl side, so we're going to purl 10. All right, and we're going to turn the yarn over and keep going so it doesn't look a whole lot different, which is another reason I really like this one, is you don't have to change things a whole bunch when you go from knit to purl. I'm not sure how some of the others are. German short row might not be any different. This time we're going to purl 8. When worked from purl to knit, or knit to purl, I don't have enough experience with German short rows to speak on that. That was 8, right? Yep. Okay. Go ahead and turn. Do our yarn over. Purl back. Purl 6. And purl 4. When you do your yarn over after your turn, just make sure you're getting your yarn in that correct position to work your next row, be it knits or purls. All right. Purl 2 to begin with. Okay, and we're gonna purl all the 4. Okay, now because of the way I worked them, my purls, it's suggested to twist it. Not gonna twist it. Okay, so I didn't twist mine. You might need to twist yours so that it's in a position similar to this. Otherwise, your purl, that yarn over, might end up being too open. Experiment with it. But that was the only extra step in the original instructions that I found, which was like 3 lines in a book. And I'm like, okay, let's play with this. And I really liked it. Was twist your purl stitch before purling it together with the next one. I'm like, okay. Turn your work over to the front. My guys are twisted a bit. Another thing that you might do is switch the position of the yarn over with the stitch that you're purling it together with. So let's take some of these out and try that and look at the difference. This is what is fun about knitting. Crochet, there's not as much of this. You can change things just slightly. Okay, I didn't twist it. I picked it up in the same orientation. I just switched its position. And I'm going to purl these two together. Purl that last one. Turn it over. Okay, see? And he disappears better. So, good thing snug enough here. That is this one right here. See, he's back behind there. And then we have our plain one, and then we have our next one. So switching their positions made him disappear. I really, really like this short row method. Now, short rows in general, so we worked the knit ones one direction, like knitwise, like actually working it directionally. We worked one direction, and the purl ones we worked a different direction. And I want you to see what's going on with the fabric here. So this slants this way, but this one slants up this way. Play with short rows geometrically to get different things going on in your patterns and your designs. That's why they make great bust arts. Short rows have a lot of applications. This is just one way to work them. This is the yarn over short row. Look up some others.
If this tutorial was helpful for you, please hit the like button. Be sure and subscribe so you don't miss anything. Thank you for watching. If you have more questions, you're welcome to leave a comment below or email me, Sarah@azariasfiberarts.com. Happy making!